topic that can take the rest of a person's entire life to understand. Experienced people would always say, marriage is not the fantasies we see on television and read in books. Barbara De Angelis may be right when she stated that marriage is not a noun, it is a verb. It is not something you get, it is something you do. It is the way you love your partner every day. If you surf the internet often enough, you will discover that there seems to be studies, facts, and statistics on almost every possible factor that affects marriages and lead to divorces. Statistics show that there is at least one divorce every second around the world, which is equivalent to 60 divorces per hour. Studies also unveils that the average age of couples getting divorced for the first time is 30 years old. The question is, what are some of these factors that give rise to marital issues? A few suggested answers include lack of commitment, argue too much, married too young, unrealistic expectations, lack of equality, and lack of preparations before marriage.
Hi there, my name is Lydia Anowa Nyako Dankwa. I work in the University of Ghana and I've been happily married for 9 years. I have 1 kid and 2 stepchildren. Definitely, purpose of marriage has changed over the years so much, from the Bible days and even in the last 10 years. You know, society is not static, it's changing all the time. For some reason, you know, the strength with which we were holding on to certain values, certain commitments has changed. You know, now people don't take marriage as seriously as they used to. You know, some people go inside thinking that it's going to be a temporary thing, and that's the wrong way about it. So most of the time they end up in divorces. So if you would check your research, you will find out that, you know, divorce rates have gone up. So definitely marriage has changed. People don't go into it for the same purposes anymore. Most people go into it for reasons other than what it used to be. In the past, the focus of marriage was children and also commitment. You know, it was a lifetime commitment. But now most people go into it for more of a self-benefit than for the benefit of somebody else. So we are going more into self-interest than into, you know, thinking about other people. To be honest, I cannot tell you that that is the focus. People go into marriage for different reasons. Some of them may go into it simply for love and commitment. Some go into it for financial benefits. Some may go into it for children, as you say. But I don't think that children are still the main focus of marriage now. There are so many reasons why we get into marriages. You know, God created Adam for Eve so that they would both be complete. That was the purpose. The two people in unity together with friendship and completeness. And that is the basic thing. It's about the love and the union between the two pairs. So I don't think that we should be focusing too much on children as the purpose of marriage. I think so long that some people even decide not to have children deliberately, does that mean that their marriage is not blessed? No. Children fulfill a need that we have in this world for procreation, for the future of the world. It's very important. I'm not saying it's not. But I think that a marriage without children is still a blessed marriage and follows God's way. So long as the marriage, the two of them are in agreement and they are happy with what they have, I think that we should let them be, and we should not judge people without children. You have to think about your own maturity first in all aspects that you've talked about, physically, emotionally, and all that. And once you are ready, you would know. Okay, it depends on how you reach a point where you know that you can be selfless about someone else. If you know that you are a selfish person, you are an inward-looking person, then marriage is not for you. So maturity, emotional maturity, you don't take things too personally because you are going to be joined to somebody else from a different background. So you need that emotional maturity to be accommodating of other people's views and other people's behaviors. Physically, you need to have financial stability, for one. You need to be a healthy person. You should, there are so many issues physically that you need to take care of. Yes, mentally, you should be strong mentally. Marriage is not for lazy or people who are not strong. You have to be very strong because it's not an easy road to take. Mentally, yes, you have to be strong mentally because it's not an easy road. Being able to sacrifice for somebody else, you have to have it up here. A stable mind. You have to be clear about your values, for one. Okay, you have to choose right so that you don't end up regretting, because everybody, regardless of whether you have thought about it or not, you have certain values and certain things that you have grown up with and that you cherish. So if you go in and you realize that you are sacrificing some of your values and your principles, it will create a problem. So you have to be very clear about what your values are, what you can take and what you cannot take. So mentally is very important. So in all aspects of your life, you have to be mature. Then you also have to think about the relationship you are in. Is the relationship a relationship that can move forward to marriage? It has to be a strong relationship, a healthy and a good one. Then you can move forward to marriage. So those are the two things, maturity and then making sure that that relationship is good enough for marriage. That you have to be self-sufficient. Okay, you don't go into a marriage with the idea to depend on somebody, because that invariably leads to disaster. People do it all the time. Okay, you go into a marriage thinking that somebody will take care of you in everything, and how fair is that to that person? Definitely you get to a point that that person will resent that kind of behavior or that kind of stance. So it's better to have a little bit of, a ground for you to stand on so that you have something to contribute to the marriage. So it's better. I'm not saying that it's impossible to go into marriage when you are not financially stable, but it really gives you a good start to the marriage when you know that you also have a firm and, financial standing. I know that God said, that Adam was complete when Eve came to join him, which is good in a sense. Okay, but definitely you have to, an individual has to make sure that he's complete in himself before he joins somebody else. And everybody has everything it takes in their person, to be happy and complete. There are single people. Okay, is it fair to say that you will never be complete until you get married? No, it does not complete people. It improves you. It makes you selfless. Okay, it makes you giving. It makes you forbearing. It gives you patience. There are so many things that marriage teaches you. It serves as an example, about the relationship between God and us as human beings. You see how God, is all giving, all, forbearing, and whatever we do, He forgives us. You see, so it's like a testimony that you are going into. You become a living testimony to others. It doesn't complete you, but it makes you a better person, all around. So that is my point of view on that. There are so many single people who are even more complete than married people, because people go into marriages for the wrong reasons. You can be single and still give and be altruistic in your life. So definitely every human being is complete, regardless of being married or not. When are you going to get married? What are you waiting for? There's no perfect guy. Particularly in this Ghanaian society, the mothers are the worst, and then they are followed by the aunties, and then it goes on and on. So there's no, age is not a limit. Okay, so long as you are ready. I know some people right now listening to us may think that they have a deadline or they are late and all that. It's never true. Don't let people deceive you. It's better to wait and get the right person if you want to get married than to rush into something that you will regret because you just put aside your principles and values and took the next available bus. So definitely age is not a limit at all, and I don't think that people should focus on that. And now luckily for us, with advancing health systems, if marriage is children is part of the purpose for which you are getting married, you can get have children as late as even 50 and beyond, and you can adopt. So live your life in full, as you are single. Be happy, find the things that give you joy, and give to the world. That is it. And then if it's the right time and you have the maturity and you have the right relationship, then you get married. Age is definitely not an issue. Okay, it's hard to convince yourself of that, but it's true. Communication is an art that's not easy to learn, and it's something that you always have to remind yourself of. Even now, after 9 years of marriage, we are still working on our communication, but you have to start somewhere, and the best time to start having open communications with your partner is before you get married. Establish the honesty, the openness, the trust between the two of you before you go into marriage. It's not easy, okay? There are certain things that you feel like you need to withhold, maybe offending somebody or, that's not right to say. But the best thing, it works very well for a good and open and healthy relationship is to start before marriage, being open with your partner. And that is how, you set up your marriage for success. So definitely, one thing that you need to become open about is being angry with your partner. If your partner does something wrong or something that offends you, just right there and then, just let it go and tell the person, frankly, this is what you did and I didn't like it. And let him also respond, and then you clear it, and then you don't hold on to it. You don't let the sun go down on your anger, so that days after you are giving the person a silent treatment. Practice that before you get married, and I promise you that you will survive marriage better than most people. I'll give you the advice if I had known, I would give to myself when I was younger. I was younger and I didn't know what the future would bring. Please get to know yourself first, very well. Get to know yourself, what your likes are, what your dislikes are, what you can take, what your limits are before you get into any relationship, so that you do not sacrifice your principles for someone else. Okay, that's one. And then secondly, be aware of your behavior and your weaknesses. be woke, as they say nowadays, be woke about, life, okay, and be conscious about how you conduct your life. Don't let loose or let go at any point, so long as once you establish what you want in life, okay? Because when you go into marriage, that is your life. You should go into it with commitment to the end, okay? And if you don't take care, you may sacrifice all this throughout your life, and at the end of your life, what do you have to say for it? That you let lose your morals because of a man? You will have to account for it for eternity. So be woke about, every day, your attitudes, how you are doing things on a daily basis. Sometimes we are oblivious. We just follow people and go through routines. But be very, very, very conscious about it and be careful. Okay, and then the last thing is pray for your partner. Pray and be very, very clear what you want. I did that, luckily for me. I did that. I went for a program and they told us to pray, and I went home and I said, Father, these are the things I want for my partner. In fact, I should have made my list longer. I did not. But the few things I asked, believe you me, I got all of them. I promise you. Even the frivolous thing that I asked, I thought was frivolous. I got exactly that in the man I married. So don't be afraid to give God the list of things that you want in a marriage. Of course, they should be good things. So that is what I have to say. And I think that each person who wants to get married will be able to go into a good